Hello, and welcome to Rule of Thirds, a conversation about art, design, and culture, with your hosts,
Burns,
Mike,
and Jude.
If this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod. Don't be shy to say hi. Alright, now to the episode. Elon Musk and Tesla, Sarah Blakely and Spanx, Kanye West and Yeezy. With the rise of brands and businesses utilizing social media to build an online presence, how important is it for the founders to be the faces of the companies that they create? After a pretty chilled bank holiday weekend, the guys explore this ever-growing occurrence and how it plays into the lifespan of a brand.
Yeah, how are we doing, guys?
Don't
all rush at once.
I'm tired, fam. Man's currently doing this podcast from the bed. You get me? Right. Yeah, man. Man's hearing it. Mike, what you saying?
I'm done. Yeah, all right. Pretty good. Just happy it's a bank holiday. So happy it's a bank holiday. That 4-day weekend needed.
Yeah.
Very much.
I like it came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah. It felt like a gift. Do you get me?
Exactly. That's literally the word I was thinking about. I was like, oh wow, okay, cool. I'll take it. I don't mind. You know,
a Friday and a Monday. Bro. My goodness.
And then deep it. Work like this working week is gonna be 4 days as well.
Oh yeah.
I saw there's a May bank holiday soon as well, no? Yeah.
You serious? Oh yeah.
This is the time, innit?
Oh.
When all the holidays start just like racking up out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
What would you man have been doing like pre-COVID around this time?
Ooh, that's a good question. Do you know, it's actually kind of sad because I actually don't remember.
It's really not that long ago, you know.
No, it was
like it's like 20 years ago, like back in your youth.
It feels like forever. No, am I lying though? It doesn't feel like socializing and just doing the normal stuff doesn't feel real anymore.
Yeah.
Do you get me? This feels like some.
The word that you said, the gift, that's literally what it feels like when I go outside right now. Anytime I go out, I'm like, wow, humans, like air, sunshine. It's just so nice.
Yeah.
It's like on Monday last week, because I can't remember when lockdown was lifted or we went to like a different tier.
Yeah.
But I think it was like the 26th of March or something. And I remember that Monday I was coming back from somewhere. And I was like, okay, let me just like walk through like London Bridge and like Tower Bridge area to like get home. And I sat there for a bit. It was completely packed. And I think it was like 12 p.m. Oh yeah, I was dropping my uncle off somewhere. And 12 p.m. people are just out here sitting on the riverbank, socializing, eating. And I was thinking, do you guys not work?
Wait, what?
What's good? I was just surprised by the amount of people that were out. I was like, it's not even like it was lunchtime, like 1, like coming up to 12 p.m. and people are just out walking about. I was like, wow. When there's like sun and just obviously things have been lifted, like people are just so eager to get back into the swing of things. Even if you think about like start a bank holiday weekend on Friday to this Monday and the weather's been good. Like roads have been busy.
It was really like 20
my mum
degrees
and
last
I
week,
spent
no?
Easter together. Yeah.
It's snowing today.
And just everyone's out and about and ready to kind of like get into doing stuff. Because like as you said, like it is weird like socializing and stuff, but we miss it.
Oh yeah.
Like we all really want to get back into like things. So yeah.
I was gonna say as well.
It's nice.
I mean, I know I have, but like just I told myself like this year I'm not even gonna lack like anything that comes up. I don't care what it is. If it's a bookie party in the corner, I'm there. If it's a tuxedo lunch at the Shard somewhere, I'm there. Like whatever it is, I'm there. Like I do not want to like at all, because I can't lie. Like that's one thing I realized. Like pre-COVID, I was just like, oh yeah, I can do that next year. Oh, it's not that important right now. But like the way COVID swung out of nowhere, I can't lie. I'm just like, yeah, if I, never know. Next year it could be locked down again. I might as well just take all the opportunities I can, because what if all of a sudden there's another lockdown?
God forbid. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be sad?
Have you man heard about the COVID passports and that?
I saw that. Apparently they can't let us into cinemas.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you haven't had the.
Can you imagine cinema?
Yeah.
Cinema.
Yeah.
I mean,
I took that one personally.
logistically, I hear it though. I hear it logistically, but at the same time, is a bit mad in terms of like your freedom.
Go on then. Conspiracy burns.
What I'm gonna say is
no.
Pubs.
Pubs need to be
They
locked
love
This
they love
country
they love
and
a little
pubs. Oh, public house. Go and drink. So you don't need a COVID passport for that. But you're going to be getting wasted and you're going to be there chanting and breathing in each other's oxygen and whatnot. But then for a cinema where you're quiet and you sit apart from people and you're eating popcorn on your want,
go
I
and
can't.
drink.
I need a passport.
Priorities are
Obviously.
mad in this country. I won't even lie.
Is anyone even shocked about
Our
that?
government,
Nah.
yeah, just
Is anyone even shocked?
it's really like the whole disappointed but not
Yeah,
surprised. But I think it's just they're like, wow, you guys are just mad, and
Since from the time that they said well the pubs you can do takeaway from pubs. That's when I knew this country was mad. How can you do a takeaway from the pubs, fam? Like what are you gonna do? Can I have my beer in the bag, please? Thank you.
like you
and walk
can't
out.
like you can't buy a pack of
I'm saying.
Carling or Stella or Foster's from Tesco. It needs to come out from that cup, that one cup from the tap.
They definitely tapped because there's no way you're doing takeaway. And the funny thing is, people actually went in there pretending like they were doing takeaway and sat there. Just it's like, what's the difference?
Pubs in my local area, these guys were standing outside
That's it.
like it's Box Park.
Brilliant.
I'm like, it wasn't even sunny.
Case though. But I guess in the context, I mean, I'm not really a pub man, but I guess maybe in the context of majority of UK citizens, maybe the pub is like a community space.
Ben, I don't know why you give me pub vibes, Doesn't Ben, he gives you like just going down to the cheeky old fox for a pint.
The thing is, I can definitely slot right into a pub because I'm a West Ham fan, but I've only been to a pub like 3 times in my life. Okay. Yeah, I don't really.
So
yeah.
Not even a uni.
Anywhere.
Wait, no, you never did a pub crawl.
I even remember the uni you went to as well. Just like,
well, no pub crawl is nothing. When I got to this country for the first time I got to this country, the first place one of the guys, the Ghanaian men took me was the pub. Literally, I landed. I kid you not, I landed. It was like evening time. It was like, yeah, let's just go and get a drink.
Oh, that's
and I didn't know what a pub
funny.
was because I was only 14. Like I didn't know what a pub was. He was like, yeah, let's go. He ordered a beer and he bought me like a lemonade. I was sitting there like in the midst of like old white men. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, what's this? What kind of like Illuminati setting is this? I didn't know. So confused. It's like, oh yeah. And we ended up watching a match there. Just like men shouting. I was like, wow. So this is a pub, huh?
Joke aside, though, and I was gonna say my first experience of like pubs were EastEnders for a good like 10, 15 years. I feel like that's for quite a few like first gen Brits, I'd probably say, because whose father or mother's taking you to a pub? But anyways, to the next thing with the festivals. It's funny you mentioned that because obviously you know how like in the other group chat people were sharing about the Yam Festival.
Carnival.
And
I always
like,
get confused.
So Carnival. And I was like, would I go? Because obviously we had that conversation that, we're not going to lack after like everything's lifted, going to make sure I like go for anything, attend this. But I'm not going to lie, I saw the Yam Carnival thing and I was like, I looked at the lineup and I was like, good people on the lineup, great people on the lineup. But I was like, is it enough for me to insert myself in a crowd of thousands of people and stand there and be enjoying? COVID is still kind of like low-key a thing still, but obviously people having vaccinations and whatnot. So I was just doing the maths and I was like, I don't know if like for this time round, I'm willing to go. But if it was a different festival or carnival or like with maybe a different lineup, then possibly. But I know for that one, I was like, need to think about it. And plus, when you think about who's running the thing,
Smade.
I was like, no, nothing against nothing against the guy. Just
These are not the views of the
like,
Rule of First podcast.
Again, no, nothing against the guy, but I think obviously I know with the previous, event, like there were loads of like factors and stuff, but I think I was just like, I'm just gonna wait for you guys to enjoy this time round, and then maybe next year when I know things are like stable, and if it doesn't, if something happens, I can get my money back, or you guys get your money back. Then next time I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll come through. But
I was gonna say, don't you feel like a bit harsh on him though? Because I mean,
fam,
COVID really hit,
social media is
really
very
hit
harsh.
hard.
The thing is, I
It
promise
did.
you, if there wasn't this space on social media to get at this guy, he'll be a calm guy still. Because think about it, the way people
so.
and all these like blog pages will now be sort of like stirring the pot. They make it worse for him,
Yep.
That guy's now looking like one villain, one crook.
It's true.
It's bad,
You know that 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With his face on, yeah. But like, I just feel like people are a bit harsh on it because it's like, if COVID hit any of us during like, the height of our success, and we overestimated it, in fact, to the point where we're like, we're gonna make this event even twice as big, and we're gonna spend twice as much. The lineup was even better, pretty much, like the second time, and then suddenly COVID are like, nah, we can't do that. You've booked the artists, you've paid like advances, you've booked the venues, you've bought the equipment, and then people are like, yeah, we want our money back. You're like, huh? Excuse me, what money?
Yeah.
Money gone. Because
blood in my eyes, blood in my eyes.
Like I just feel like people are a bit harsh on him, and like
How
if it was anybody else, I think because Smade is a man of Smade is a Nigerian man and a black man at that, so I feel like they're a bit more cautious when it comes to it.
Should not be laughing because I'm a Nigerian as well.
I feel like that's
What's
why
Nigerian,
we're a
man?
bit harsh. Because, like, let's be real. If he was of it, like, there's so many people who, or in different festivals and different carnivals, whatever, who've done things and sometimes didn't go as well.
This is true.
And
This is very
there's always
true.
a bit of like leniency. I feel like in our community, sometimes a bit too harsh. Because the first one was so good to the point where everybody wanted to be there the second time.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's not fair.
Would you say it's because of like almost like the proximity that we have to him? Like he's a lot more accessible, hence why people can feel like they can just approach him anyhow in a sense. Because especially with social media, like the way people are acting this, give me my money.
They'll call you by your first name as well. They'll be like, look, Adetunde, give me my money.
Name.
Like they'll literally be direct and be like, give me like. I feel like that's the problem though. It's because he's the face of the event. You can't escape
That raises a good question though. Like, how do you like? Do you think he did that on purpose, or do you think he just naturally became the face of that event?
Again, it's something that I feel like maybe in our community, especially, we like to be this is the thing. You know how we had this conversation earlier, maybe like episode 2 or something, where we were like, sometimes we want to do it all. We deserve some accolades, and then it carries on into we wanting to be like we want to make it obvious that we are the people in charge of so and so, especially when it's that successful. Like, cause Smade has been around for time. He's been with the wireless team and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So he's been around for time. But this one, especially with how successful it was, like, fam, if it was me, I'd put my name on there. I'd be like, yeah, it was me. I did it. It was me. I was part of the the success of all this. But that's what makes it a bit techie, because it's like when it goes wrong, now they have someone to blame.
Because, like you said, like there's other festivals, even other artists, for example, that have had to like change dates, switch concerts and stuff around, and people have already bought tickets. And even when they released tickets for concerts that was supposed to happen at the end of last year, people weren't really too mad. I remember I even went to a concert. This was like before COVID though. I think it was like November time, like a year and a bit ago. And we were at the concert and the artist was literally like, they could not sing. Like the voice was just doing kring kaka pom pom. Like it was a mess.
Who is this, please?
Yeah, I would like to keep that anonymous for now. Yeah.
Tell me after, because I need to know.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm gonna say is they may or may not be
If you say the name, I'll just bleep it out.
Does Michael trust that he's gonna bleep it out?
Who was it? You know there was
I'll bleep it out.
Would you actually listen to this all the way through to be like beep? It was
Okay, I'm not.
and I know like some people like
the racist one.
said for clarity, don't spell it out as well.
I can't bleep all of the letters now. Like I'm just gonna have to leave that in there.
Oh no, you could do all that. I gave you 3 chances. I'm sure we can note down the time.
Yes.
Burns. Thank you. But yeah, so we went I went with someone and we went to this concert, and yeah, she was just kind of like, her voice was just doing bits throughout the performance in like the first 10-20 minutes. She was like, guys, I'm so sorry, I can't do this. I'm I want to give you guys a show, blah blah blah. And then she just said, I'm sorry, I can't do this, and then she had to like cut it short. We had to leave. And in like, obviously, like people, they were upset for her, and it was sad. Like I think I even had it. I have it recorded on my phone. She was like, "Oh, God," she was crying.
Wait, wasn't
I was like,
waist?
this is awkward. It wasn't performing how she wanted it to.
So she just
was
locked it
missing
off.
notes. Yeah. She said, "Sorry, guys, I'm not giving you the show that you guys deserve. You guys paid money to see me, blah blah blah." And I'm not gonna lie, even if she just gave us she just went like this with the mic and pointed it to the audience for like the remainder of the show. Personally, I wouldn't care because the vibe was great.
I would care.
But obviously,
Is it a karaoke show?
getting money
You
to
want
us and
sing?
stuff. I'm screaming. But yeah, she called it off, and I remember like seeing the responses on the TL. And what's so funny is that there was a lot of sympathy for her, and the refunds. I don't think I got my refund until like the middle of last year, so it took like 6 months or so or more for me to get my refund. It wasn't a lot of money, but in comparison to other concerts. But I was like, wow, it's so interesting how in that situation there was a lot more grace, but then with, let's say, Schmade and like Afro Nation Part 2, obviously as well, because people are getting accommodation and stuff, so the stakes are higher. But yeah, everyone's like, what the hell's going on? But if it was wireless, it may not be approached in the same way. People might just be like, okay, we know it's going to take time for refunds to come through and stuff. But then again, wireless is in the UK, it's not abroad. So it's just, it's very interesting, I guess, how we navigate stuff like this. And then is it because, like you guys have said, is it because there's a face that's a lot more accessible than like a wireless? We don't really know the main team or the core people.
It's probably better that way, And I think legacy wise as well, helps you to build the legacy. Because think about it, if you even putting your face out there, and then the thing, something happens to you, God forbid, it kind of feels like now the next person that has it, they may flop it or may make it better. There's more pressure on them, rather than actually having this a name that we can all operate under.
I see what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? I kind of pass it that way.
Interesting, because I'm just thinking like some of the events that I'm thinking about don't have faces to them, or known faces anyway. But then I guess
like a Glastonbury, even though I'm not a Glastonbury goer, like that thing is always going to be Glastonbury because it's Glastonbury.
Yep.
It's not because of someone else's name.
Yeah. I mean, boy, because it's a tricky one.
Even Coachella as well. Actually,
most brands have a person. If you go and do a quick Google search, you find who started it or so and so. But they're just not. They're usually not like media personalities. Like for example, the Rock Nation brunch. We all know Jay-Z, Beyonce, blah blah blah.
LOL.
So if let's say Jay-Z and Beyonce in the next 50 years they're no more, does that mean that the Rock Nation brunch isn't gonna happen because it was Jay-Z and I don't know, like no, I'm saying it will still happen, but we all know
if they've got.
I'm
sure they've got young people in the thing right now.
Yeah, definitely.
But already like going up the ranks and stuff in the leadership team and stuff.
Well, I'm just thinking like in kind of like creating like a business or like an event or whatever. Like surely you'd use your celebrity to kind of like not balance, but like raise the, you know what I'm saying,
Boost
boost
it
it
up a
up, because
little
I know
bit.
Smade is
Awareness.
known, like he has a lot of contacts. So like I get why he attached his name with no fear. Like let's say COVID didn't happen and this went off without a hic, and then it kept going and kept going. Like
Yeah.
no one, everyone would be like Smade's the guy, Smade's the guy. It's just unfortunate that it's happened like this. I feel, but I don't know. I just feel like in terms of like businesses in general, like most people usually would like attach their names to their business, especially when it's starting off, because they want to kind of, but like especially in this social media age where you might have more followers than your actual business does.
Yeah.
So you want to balance
Yep.
out, you know, like
true.
most, like if you think about most of the fashion brands and all these kind of things, like some of them literally the name of the brand is their name. You know, it's that like on the nose. So I don't know. It's an interesting one for sure, because it's like, at what point do you kind of detach yourself from a brand and let it become its own thing? Like for example, Sean Combs has the Sean Combs like fashion slash lifestyle brand. Like at what point does he like say, okay, cool, this is just Sean Combs the brand and not Sean Combs the person?
Right.
So it's an interesting thing to think about.
It is. And like you said, I guess it's in this day of social media where not most, but like quite a lot of people have a following. So it's like, okay, I'm going to use my social capital for this advantage, especially if there's
makes
not
sense, though.
other bit, imagine if that's the only kind of capital that you have as well, you'd want to use that for your business. But then it's true. It's like, okay, where do we then kind of draw the line between this is my business and this is me, and then we're two distinct things? Because I know, like, starting off, sometimes how like you could be like the first person to comment on your brand page when you've launched a product, or I think I remember you kind of commented about this in the first episode.
That's so awkward. Like, how you gonna do that?
Wait, would you mind? Yeah, would you mind? Because personally, I can't.
That's my pride won't let me.
Maybe if it's ego and pride, then yeah, it is.
Bro,
It is.
that's me.
But I'm not doing that
all day long.
personally.
What? How you gonna be like, yo, this is sick under your own under your own first post? Yeah, that's too much.
So you've got to be your biggest supporter.
Yeah, no, sometimes
that's just too much.
Sometimes you might have to do that.
Them Tumblr quotes. Nah, man.
I'm done. But yeah, sometimes like people will do that, but then, I guess it's when's the right time, or do you have to do it to a certain point? Because sometimes people will see that and be like, oh, okay, oh yeah, this is this person's brand, and because I like this person, I'm gonna support this brand. But I guess when you look at the longevity of a brand, and to be fair, I feel like there's different like lifespans for different things. Like, it's not everything that needs to be, here forever. There are some things that may have to just be here for like 5 years. Like your clothing brand doesn't have to be here for a lifetime. Just for a good 5 years, have a good run, do your thing well. That's it. Or maybe for 20, or maybe it's within your own lifetime, and then you can call it quits. Or is it something that you're like, okay, cool, I want this to be here forever, and I want to give the reins over to somebody else. Like, it's like when you look at fashion houses, they still have their names, and maybe core bits of their identity, but they'll always pass it on to a new creative director so that they can help, breathe something new into it. Like, obviously, big examples like Louis Vuitton with like Virgil Abloh, for example. I can't remember the guy who came on like Saint Laurent, but he even like changed the logo. Like when he came on, like it was Yves Saint Laurent, and then they changed the YSL to something that was like a sans serifoni, and everyone was like, "What the hell?" But it's worked well in their favor. Even the guy for Dior, it's like Kim Jones, I think. But yeah, there's like certain people kind of coming through. Oh, even recently, actually, just remembered, for New Balance creative director, there's a brand called Aim Leon Dore.
Oh yeah.
It's French.
Yeah, what's that all about?
French,
like, man keeps on seeing this.
I don't know. I don't know the pronunciation, but like.
But what are they? Are they like another clothing brand?
Yeah, they've been doing like, I guess, clothing, streetwear, in that kind of like field for years. They've been doing it for a while.
Because New Balance had a resurgence, fam. I don't know where it's happened, but their crepes are looking wavy.
But they've had like good collaborations with people as well. Like Ronnie
Yeah.
Feek from Kith has done like some really cool stuff with them, as well as I can't remember the guy's name, the guy behind Amy on Door. But again, it's like New Balance. The person who started it had a initial trajectory and had a good run, and then they brought somebody new in to like breathe new life into it. So yeah, it's things like that I'm thinking about. Okay, lifespans, like what, I guess it all depends on, for example, if Afro Nation, when Smade is gone, for example, I'm sure he'll pass that on to a team for them to kind of keep going, or maybe he'll distance himself from the brand in the futures to come. But as he's starting up, it's like, okay, let me use my social capital as well as like those who are involved and stuff like that. What are your thoughts in the jumble that I have said?
No, it makes sense. I was more interested in like just asking myself, and probably like you guys as well, like what would you prefer? Because I know Burns talks about legacy a lot, so I know for sure that's his mindset. But I mean, Michael, because you're the one talking about it, it'd just be interesting to hear what you think about like if you were to create a brand, which I know for sure you are yourself. You yourself are a brand, and I know that's gonna last your lifespan. But outside of that, if you were to create anything else, would you be the type of person to be like, okay, cool, this is a thing? Because you know, in the tech world, that happens a lot. They create businesses to sell, so they don't create businesses to hold on to. They make it. They make an app. They make it this. They make it that. It gets to a valuation, then they sell it, and they make another one, like, and so on and so forth. And that's literally what the tech world is. But in like the design, more art world, it's a completely different. Like everybody's very it's not selfish, but they definitely hold everything in a very personal way. Everything feels very personal to most artists, so it's like they're not easily to be like, they don't easily give things up. They don't be like, oh, I've created this brand, I'm gonna sell it, or like, you know what I'm saying. Like for example, I think Supreme sold to, was it Timberland? One of these I can't remember.
One other brand. I remember looking at it thinking, what?
Supreme.
Yeah.
A couple
so
bill
like,
as
you know
well.
what I'm saying?
Was it a
So
couple bill?
it's one of those things where it's like
organization.
Yeah. So if those kind of things happen in that space, clearly these people have done what they feel they can with a brand and let that go. But like, I don't know, a lot of artists, I don't know, I feel like they wouldn't be in that position or want to ever do that. You know, so it's just interesting to see, like, Michael, especially because you just spoke about it. What would you do in those kind of situations?
I guess it depends on the thing, right? I just saw, it's Timberland for like 1.6 bill. I feel like it's wild, you know.
Yeah, I'll take that still.
I feel like
well, would you sell your brand for a bill?
That's sold my brand for a bill. Of course, man.
It depends. It depends. Like, what's the? Whoa, let me slow down. In Grinch, okay. It really depends on the state of my brand at the time, because with Supreme, I think they might have been on a bit of a decline, and I think that might have been the thing that kind of pushed them to
the hype thing is kind of like, you know what it is, yeah. I hear what Mac is saying. I think, okay, if you can make more than a bill doing it yourself, then don't sell it. But if you feel like, it's run its course, sell that, because I know Supreme is definitely on the decline. I think even I don't know about hype culture, but I don't know, hype culture is not as, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic. Maybe it might come back again to its heights after the pandemic, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like you have to see the little areas of like opportunity to sell, because I think this is definitely opportunity to sell. I mean, bruh, Supreme has done so well.
Yeah.
What about if you held it on for too much longer and then it all collapses?
Exactly.
So I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
like,
I think he still has shares, but yeah. Sorry, go on, Michael.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, like, also to take into like consideration like the next generation as well. Like, how is your brand connecting with them? And I don't know for Supreme if they were in that situation, because I knew like a lot of young people were still buying Supreme. But if you think about maybe like their core people, were they still like connected? I don't know. Were they thinking forward about the future?
Yeah,
because these
it looks like a lot of them were disconnected.
you know,
though,
these are the things that you have to think about.
Yeah. Some people will be like, so for example, I know streetwear Supreme is predominantly for like, you know, skateboarders, that kind of community.
Yeah.
And I think maybe for some people it felt like, okay, now this is a fashion brand. This is no more representing what
Lifestyle.
I do and what I love. Do you know what I mean? Because fam, people don't even buy Supreme. People buy Supreme to resell.
Yeah.
So how mad that is.
Yep. No, that's true. That's facts.
Especially like when,
So I mean, it's kind of lost its touch.
especially with all the
Like
things
its
they
actual
went
core
into
meaning.
as well. Like, core meaning, like getting into the place where they're selling like bricks, or I mean, some people are buying bricks, but still like weird things that I guess maybe for the core people that are, okay, cool, we're getting it, we're here for these collaborations.
A brick, you know.
And then there's certain bits that are like, what the hell is this? Or, oh, now I have to queue up in order to get, the latest drop. But I've been a supporter from like the get-go. Am I a fan of this model? Stuff like that maybe came into consideration. But I guess to like circle back to your main point about like, I think brands and like time spans and would I give it over, or and that kind of thing. Similar to this Supreme situation, I guess it all comes down to like whether or not it's the right season and time. Like if I feel like, okay, let's say I've got a company that works in, I don't know, design or something, and I feel like it's not run its course, but maybe it's getting a bit stale, and maybe I'm not the best in terms of leadership anymore. I'm kind of getting a bit dry myself. Then maybe I might be willing to give it over to somebody else, because it's almost like maybe the vision of this company or what this company can do is a lot bigger than just myself. Because I think sometimes there's like creatives, artists, designers, like, because we can put ourselves at the center of what we do, we kind of may feel like it has to revolve around us, and like we're the nucleus, and it just has to kind of keep revolving around us. But sometimes we might have to take a step aside just for like the sake of the art, or for the sake of the work, if that makes sense. But then again, I guess when you do, it's like, okay, does the company still stay yours? Does it still have that essence? Or will it turn into something else? So I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just like thinking of
That's
it
kind
that
of what
way.
happened to Beats, Beats by Dre. Because I don't feel like Beats has the same, do you know what I mean? It's same
Like the
mood
weight.
or feel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It feels like Apple have just taken it for their own research and development.
Oh yeah,
to make their own
definitely.
headphones.
Literally
They said,
that.
okay, we'll
Literally.
chuck you a headphone for your university this tin.
Yeah, but let's be
I
real.
think they're trying to phase it out now.
Beats were never like.
It's true. It was hype.
That's
It was
the
hype.
funny part.
Oh, Beats were definitely hype, but it's like at the same time though, it had something about it. Like I remember when I was younger and I saw people wearing Beats, I was like, raw.
The
like,
marketing
they're
was
really living
great,
the
though.
lifestyle.
The marketing
it was fantastic.
phenomenal.
Every
But the
celebrity
actual quality
had
of
a
it was
Beats
poor.
advert or a Beats customized.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga had one. Nicki Minaj had one. I think Lil Wayne
I was about to say
had
Johnny
one.
Ive, not Johnny Ive. Who's the Interscope
Oh, Jimmy
guy?
Iovine. Yeah.
That's it. Genius. He was like, okay, all the artists, I think maybe even down to some contracts and stuff, like they had to have the product in their music videos.
Yep. But the other thing though,
even
that's a
athletes,
tech
I
thing.
think
That's a
Anti
tech
Joshua,
thing. Yeah,
man, still have it.
Yeah, even now they still do. Like I think Power Salute just did one with Beats.
So they are still doing it, to be fair. But I just generally feel like the hype of it is gone.
Yeah, but I feel like with something like Beats,
You know what I mean?
it was inevitable because it's tech. Another thing I was saying earlier, like I feel like with tech, they know it's there's a time for it. Like tech never like it's always it's something that's so progressive that it's like it's inevitable that your tech is gonna get old and stale. Like obviously there were gonna be better headphones than Beats.
Yeah.
Beats were never gonna be the leading headphones forever. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that is it's almost scary for me when it comes to like Apple, because they've been able to hold on for so long, and it's like I don't know how they've been, and obviously them buying Beats and stuff like this is contributing to them lasting this long, because now they can make the radio stations and get labels and this and that. So I get that, but it's like it's such an interesting thing to see Apple being that kind of like I'm surprised they haven't even branched out into fashion, you know, like at this point, because they have pretty much everything. Fam, they have everything.
That's funny. I guess they tried with the watches though, I think.
Yep.
So those watches are part of fashion now. When you think about it,
You're right.
Even when they had like the limited edition, like gold, I remember that's like the first time I think Beyonce even did an ad. When she had like the gold edition,
That paycheck.
Apple Watch, the first one when it dropped. and I feel like they try to enter maybe into like the luxury fashion / like, you know, jewelry kind of world. But then people like, I'm not gonna lie, this is a thing that's probably gonna last for like a year before it starts degrading. So the value, is it even gonna be worth as much in like 2 years, 5 years time and stuff? But I do feel like there's still a lot of scope for them. And oh god, sorry about siren. It might be a thing. Maybe when you're at that stage as well, you might just have to acquire in order to stay. Oh, for flip's sake! If you could hear that, sorry.
It's
But
day and night sirens.
can you imagine? Get me out the hood. But maybe at that stage, like you just have to kind of acquire in order to kind of stay new and fresh. Because even when you think of like Disney, for example, and obviously Walt Disney had the original vision, and that vision has remained strong throughout like the years, the decades. Like imagine Snow White and Cinderella are things that were from like the 20s and 30s that we still kind of discuss. All the kids of this generation will know about those stories, down to the fairy tales, the books that are read in class and stuff. So like that's been able to withstand time, and then they've got new stories that have been able to be shared. But then through acquisitions, it's like, okay, we own Star Wars, we own Marvel, we own National Geographic, we hold you like they have us captive. Pixar as well, like power. Disney's that's scary, crazy, man. So it's like,
it's Christ.
Do you have to keep acquiring all of that in order to stay relevant and strong? Just eat up your competitors, but then you monopolize everything, innit? So it's like, yeah.
Thank you for supporting us by listening. Be sure to share your thoughts with us using the hashtag #RuleOfThirdsPod. Enjoy the rest of the conversation.
Basically, they acquired all the Infinity Stones, and that's what's helped them to stay relevant as well, because now they're just the masters of... It's funny, I was about to say they're the masters of storytelling, but they've really got Disney Channel shows that are crap, so...
That's true.
I guess we can't all have it.
To be fair, I mean, there's bare people that have acquired the Infinity Stones, even Facebook. Facebook were definitely dying out.
Yeah, I keep forgetting they own...
Were they though?
The thing is, people always say, oh, they got 1 point something billion users. But then it's like, I swear bears of them are dormant anyway. I'm one of them.
Yikes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
the thing is,
I am one of them, and so are you.
I was gonna say, like, the thing is though, like, other countries that aren't like outside of the West, other countries use Facebook quite well. Even when you think about uni, like uni groups, pages,
freshers groups. Oh my god,
you'd have to be on Facebook in order to like really like socialize and get to know people and stuff. Obviously now, I know I definitely don't use Facebook. I want to delete it, but I'm only keeping it because of like, pictures and like.
Look, why does anyone actually keep the Facebook now? Like,
to be honest, you need it for so that's why Facebook are so smart. So
this is true.
To even use like an Instagram business account, you need to have a Facebook account. So actually, that's what I'm saying. Their stats are fake to me because it's like I've only made a Facebook account to run business accounts on Instagram. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's how they're keeping themselves relevant. Obviously, they got WhatsApp as well. They had a little scare when they released that that terms and conditions thing.
Oh yeah,
everyone's like getting scared. People started going to Telegram and Signal and everything there.
Oh yeah, with WhatsApp. Look at us now. We're still using WhatsApp.
So I don't even like WhatsApp, man. I'm more of an iMessage person.
I don't like iMessage.
Oh,
why?
Really?
I don't like. Okay, I know this sounds silly, but I love to send gifts, and I don't like how.
The better on iMessage.
Look, fam, even for me to send a GIF, you know I'm about to send a GIF.
Oh yeah.
Like what's that nonsense about? Like, I don't want you to know. I want it to come as a surprise. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
loading with a GIF.
It's like, oh yeah, he's about to send me a GIF. It's not funny anymore, is it?
Well, that little download.
Yeah, it's like it's just awkward. I don't like the interface of iMessage for groups.
It's getting better. It's getting better though.
It's ugly.
Because remember, you couldn't reply to messages before.
Wait, what do you mean?
So you know how like on WhatsApp you can reply to individual messages on iMessage?
You can do that on iMessage?
Huh? Yeah. You didn't know?
No,
we've been doing it in the group chat.
I have not seen even one of those.
That's why.
Maybe you haven't updated your.
I need to update my phone. That's another thing. You do bloody updates. I can't do how like
I love a cheeky update. I can't even lie. When the Big
Okay.
Sur thing came out, the Apple thing,
I still haven't done
I was the first one to download.
I still haven't got that.
Oh my gosh, no, you guys should get it.
I didn't have space. I did not have space.
Some things that if I download,
Man's incriminated himself, you know.
who said what? I didn't say anything.
Funny.
I don't know what you heard.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
I don't know what you heard. But yeah, shout out
It is
Apple
what
though.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many things that they've. I don't know though. Like I feel like although these men have acquired so many different things, I feel like they could improve much better. I feel like that constant argument between specialization and like jack of all trades. I
Yeah.
feel like Apple's in that boat right now where I think their music service is so poor.
Yikes.
I think no.
The way you said that, I was so
It's so
Nah, bro.
nonchalant. Man,
for
just said,
me,
you
that
know,
was really
so
like a
poor.
massive. You had us in the first half kind
Yeah.
of situation. I thought you were really about to say something. You went, nah,
You know, they're so great, but the
it's
music
poor.
service is so poor.
It's poor. And then even iMessage, I hear it. iMessage could definitely be better, but I feel like
definitely.
I don't know. I feel like they're. I don't know if they're spread thin, but they're not, they
I was gonna say, do you feel like they
their
are?
products better?
Yeah.
They could be, but then it sounds
I
crazy
feel like that's
because
their
they're
focus
Apple.
now, though.
How can they be
Yeah.
spread thin? They
You know
surely
what?
have the
Yeah.
resources to.
I think we can compare them to like what Supreme was doing. You know what? Supreme got to the point where it went outside of just the lifestyle, it became like a cult. It was literally you need to buy the newest thing to be part of this community. You know, if you have like an iPhone like 4G right now, you're not part of the iPhone community. Do you know what I'm saying?
man.
Like you can't even count
No
yourself.
Touch ID, no Face ID.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Slide to
I
unlock.
think it gets to the point where it's
Slide
like
to unlock.
if you're not updating with the community, then you're out of the community. That's what Supreme had.
Yeah.
That's why it was able to sell bricks and crowbars and like lighters and weird
I
stuff like
find
that.
that crazy, man.
You know. But then that's what Apple's doing. It's going to the
power,
point where
though.
it's like it can spread itself thing. It can like let's be real. There's no iPhone out right now that's better than probably like an okay Android. Like if we're being realistic in terms of like specs, Android is far ahead.
The only reason why is because if you think about their software and hardware is like works well together, so that's why I'm just like I know they can afford to not have to put like a Snapdragon.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the speed of the machine, the efficiency of the machine, the space on the machine. All of this is miles ahead of iPhones. But the reason why we love iPhones is, again, because of the community and the culture. We feel like we're part of it. They're much better brands than Supreme. Much better quality brands than Supreme. Like if you buy a Supreme t-shirt, the quality isn't as great as another brand might be. But it's not because of that. It's because the culture, the cults, you know, you're part of it now. It's like once you're in.
And the hype.
Yeah, exactly. Once you're in, it's kind of hard to kind of get out. That's why Apple can give you like a shoddy product and you're still gonna buy it because it's like eventually.
That's why I still ain't got the iPhone or the latest iPhone because I was like, right now I'm using the iPhone 8 and it's working perfectly fine. Yeah, it's working perfectly fine. I don't need to get another phone. Cause I thought about it this way. I was like, bruv, like, unless it's going to increase my productivity, unless it's going to, and even take better pictures. I've got a camera. I don't need a phone for better pictures. Do you know what I mean? Like, what else is it going to do except for do the same thing it's done before? You get me? And I thought like Apple, I think in recent years, their sales on like the latest iPhones have kind of like platooned or like steadied. They're not very, back in the days, like, if there was like the next iPhone would be a massive jump.
The leaps, were massive, in comparison.
And now,
you're right.
what they're doing now,
add one more
changing
camera in
the
the back.
bevels here.
Yep.
They're adding another camera here.
Yep.
So I mean, it's very like, you guys are trying to fool me, and I ain't gonna fall for it.
Take
But
out
to
the
be honest, I
charge, take
already
out the
fallen for it 'cause
charging,
I've got,
take out the
Apple
headphones.
TV.
Yikes.
I've got the headphones. I've got the Apple
Wait,
Watch.
what?
You get me? So
Wait, the headphones.
Well, that's the thing. Like
no. Sorry.
Okay.
As in, I got the
Please,
they're Beats, but there's Apple obviously. I've got like the Beats.
oh, okay, not those pros.
No, I ain't got pros.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm on the Sony
But I think that's the thing though. Like because there was a stat that I saw that I can't remember what it's called. It's economics terms, but basically they outsold, I think, product more than like they're the top, and then the next 9
The economies of scale.
Maybe, I think so. But basically, they were outperforming like the top 2 to 9, no, 2 to 10 products, and they were at the top. And the pie chart was mad. And they basically said like the sales of AirPods, for example, huge,
They have to
massive.
diversify
And I
where they
think
get the money from, innit?
exactly, and I think that's what it's coming to, because with phones now, I think all of us, even if it's Android as well as iPhone, like we are at a point where we're like, okay, when it comes to the next phone, we're not as like pushed to now have to buy the next latest thing. Like we're over it. What are you gonna add? Like you said, another camera or smaller bezels, a wraparound screen. Like we actually don't really care too tough. But so now they're like diversifying. So AirPods, massive thing. Like think about when you walk through, like, I know like pandemic and stuff, but when you walk through like your local shopping center, what's in people's ears, especially like in the next generation as well, a lot of them have AirPods. Like people are buying it for like birthday gifts or just putting money together to get a pair. So there's that, as well as like all of these online on-demand services as well. Like in their previous conference, they had the whole Apple, what was it? It was Apple One, and it comes with Apple News,
music.
I'm gonna dive
TV,
into that.
fitness.
It's too early.
Same. Or you are.
No, I don't want to. Maybe when I got my own place, it'll be different. But right now, bruv, I don't need all of that, man.
Yeah, I personally don't see.
I don't need news as well, man. I mean, Apple News, really and truly, I need that, and I've got free news outlets.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, like.
But that's the thing, that is going more towards like services and stuff in order for them to get their money. Or people have spoken about, like Apple making a car or something. They're probably just going to be looking into other things. Because if we compare it to like Samsung and all the other like phone providers, like I was gonna say HTC, but I don't even know if they do phones anymore. Like a
HTC
Xiaomi,
slaps though.
No, they don't. But
no, they will fire.
Don't lie.
They'll fire.
Bro, when I had to, I remember.
You didn't like them,
bro. I had it. Was it secondary school times?
Dude,
HTCs were beautiful back then. No, not now. I'm saying back in them day when
back in the day,
it was sensational.
Like, there was a time where it was just HTC were really performing well in their lane.
No, trust me, HTC was the phone back then.
Well, yeah, like if you think of like Samsung have what?
Fridge.
If it's not fridge,
TV.
It's TV. If it's not TV, it's phone. If it's not phone, it's, I don't know, again. They literally, speakers, they do everything. Yeah. Whereas like Apple really focused on giving you music products, and as well as like obviously they started with like the Macintoshes and the computers. Then they gave you like iPods and stuff.
That's my doorbell. Sorry,
that's so funny.
Someone's doing my
so door. Like they gave you like obviously like the Macintosh, the laptops, computers. Then they gave us iPods, iPhones, iPads, and like, you know, now they've given us like headphones and all sorts. So they've actually kind of had like quite a small product range in comparison to their competitors.
True.
So now like it feels like, okay, now we can actually like expand and grow on that, because if you think about it, they've done incredible considering the like small amount of stuff they have actually given to us as the consumers. And they're what, one of the richest, highest grossing companies in the world with that limited product range. Meanwhile, people are out here doing TVs, trucks, all sorts.
But they're smart though, because everything links well together. This ecosystem that they've created is sensational. I mean, I think what I love about Apple is that they focus on the little things. Do you know what I mean? The little things that we all really like. So, for example, like the fact that I can watch my Apple TV and say, for example, I want to log into my account. As soon as that happens, a little pop-up comes onto my iPhone saying you can type it in using your phone. Even though that's so tiny, like, it makes everything so much more easier. Do you know what I mean? AirDrop is one of the best things ever.
Bro, AirDrop is a lifesaver.
Glorified Bluetooth.
Fam.
But it does such a good job.
Legit, it's actually just like some luxury Bluetooth service.
No, you're right.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's better to... Because obviously, like, Samsung clearly diversified from the beginning. They've been doing technology in a general sense, like doing TVs, fridge, phones, whatever. And then Apple decided, let's focus first on the computer, to the point where, like, even I think little things like the mouse and like the clicks and like being able to open multiple tabs and little things like even on the phone, like when you, for example, get past like a code, it will pop up automatically and be like, "Is the code that you got on the text?"
Exactly.
You can put in those little things, and they've been able to do that really well.
that is
Would you say that that's a
sensational.
better way to approach anything in the, like as a creative, like focus on that one thing, or would you say it's better to diversify?
Innovation. Yeah, I think it is, because ultimately you're just gonna get a better product. Because I think ultimately, if you want to diversify, you may diversify and not get the best products out of it. And what Apple have done is that they've tried to get the best version of what they can, and once they've done that,
Before
they release
moving
something else. So, for example,
Yeah,
let's talk about the wired headphones. For example, the wired headphones used to come. We use them, cool. Then the AirPods came. Then they took out the jack. Do you know what I mean? So what they're doing is that they're just innovating it in a way that, bro. But it's smart though, because now we've all transitioned to wireless. Now we've all got wireless headphones, wireless earphones. You get me?
We
Like,
needed freedom from that bondage of wires, please.
I hear it though. The wireless. I mean, we're using wires now, but I mean,
Even though we're all using it now.
for the sake of audio. But now the wireless thing is patterned, man. Wireless charging, even like flip.
Yeah, I don't think that's
I
gonna work.
don't
anymore.
think wireless charging though. I think it's dead.
I just feel like
Does it
it
work,
wastes more
though?
energy than
It
it
works.
does save like energy. I
Yeah.
just feel like, you know,
It's a nice idea, but it's a bit like, I don't know if I want to do that.
I guess it's the aesthetics as well. It looks more appealing, I guess, if you
Yeah, I
just
mean,
have like
there's companies
matte
now that are
but
making
yeah.
sofas.
imagine a
Yeah.
wireless
There's companies now
home.
making sofas where basically you can put
wireless
your
home. So we're charging as well.
charging it as you're sitting down.
Right.
All these radio waves and everything just entering our body
Just
anyhow.
In
You know.
20 years, we're not here. Oh, health concerns about
I've got,
big man.
I'm done. You didn't think about this then, yeah? Now you're gonna just suddenly
No,
bring
I
it
feel
on.
like there's gonna be so many things that will come out in the next couple of years. We're gonna be like, oh, okay.
It's gonna be very
Bro,
awkward.
there's so many things I think about right now. I'm just like, are they actually good for our health? I don't think of something that comes to example now.
TikTok is not good for our health. That's why I tell you this now.
Yeah,
TikTok is not good for our
TikTok
health.
is a wild one.
I don't
The thing
know
is,
when,
I actually had
but
a
it's
conversation.
gonna explode, and we're all gonna realize how bad it is for us.
Because that's the same thing with Instagram. You know, Instagram was so beautiful at one point. It was like, just share whatever, your dog, your grass, your house. Do you get me?
Ads.
But now it's like, oh, it's so toxic. The ads.
Yep.
And I feel like TikTok is in one of them stages now.
Not gonna lie, I feel like TikTok it's gonna be a while because deep it guys, we're not the core audience for that platform. So we will be like, we will be our parents. Where we'll be like, oh, what's this nonsense that they're using? It's the next generation, Gen Z and Gen Alpha. That's their bag. Obviously, it's a.
Is that what
it's
they're
a
calling them? Gen
platform-
Alpha?
Yeah, apparently it's Gen Alpha now for the
Where
the
did they
next
get the names from?
generation.
Bro, whoever's making them is sick because like Alpha, you know, that's kind of hard still.
That's a start of something new. That's that's powerful.
You know what I'm saying?
are
This is gonna
Gen
be Omega.
Alpha.
Fam. Gen Alpha.
That's good.
Oh gosh.
No, but I hear you
No,
though.
but,
TikTok
like,
is.
I feel like it's gonna be a while. I feel like it's going to, but then again, it's all like content just coming at you at once.
Yeah.
And you know how they say like our brains aren't even developing at the rate of
The technology.
technology. So it's like, will people just get fatigued
Scary.
and just be like, okay, I can't be bothered anymore. It's just too much to see.
Yeah.
Or will we just adapt and be like, oh, well, the next generation, especially because they've grown up with this, will they just be like, oh, this is life.
Yeah, that's gonna be scary. Cause like, I mean, I'm just thinking now, like how many times do people actually laugh out loud? I know it sounds silly and a lot of people have heard it, yeah, but I feel like that's kind of how I see it. It's like from when we start to express ourselves on text completely different to how we do with our
That's
words,
so funny.
then that's kind of how I clocked. I was like, okay, yeah, this is going downhill. Because like now, I'll say things on text that I would never say in real life. And it's like the personality that I have on a phone
Yeah.
texting
Yeah.
someone is completely different from real life. Because like,
You got
Be saying
you got
low.
personality disorder now with this thing.
bro, fam,
That's
like fam, it's
funny.
definitely
No,
like
I hear
split.
though.
Like fam, we be
You're the
saying
ones
low
that
with
say
so many
and the one with
O's.
bare caps.
Bro, I'm not,
So many O's. days. Meanwhile, you're just there with a straight face.
I feel like that's the thing. Is like now we're going to a point where it's like our social identity is coming split from our human interactive identity. Because it's like, let's be real, people on TikTok who are doing these weird faces and movements, when they put that phone off, they're not doing that. There's no way that someone's doing their face like that.
Funny.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that I feel like it's gonna be a bit scary, where people start to only get like they're only comfortable to talk through social media. Like I won't be surprised if it gets to a point where people be having dates but on their phone in real life. So they'll be face to face, but they'll be talking through text on like right in front of them. Like they can't even say a word, because it's like at this point it's like, I don't know, the human interaction is just it's in a weird space. Like I don't feel like people can communicate the same way we used to do like 5-6 years ago. I know it sounds like a granddad, but still.
No, I do hear what you're saying.
It's true though. It's kind of like you know when people say sometimes like people tweet reminders like, oh yeah, like log off and actually like go out for a walk,
bro. When was the last time you logged off?
So engrossed into wait,
and even logging off, that sounds bad. And the funny thing is, they set it up in a way is that when you log out, is that it's long to get back in. Not long, but it's like, for example, like you log out and now you have to log into your other accounts. Yeah, verifications and. Do you get me?
That's actually scary, you know. Michael, when was the last time you logged off? Oh my god, yo. That is actually scary.
Even like today, I had to like delete Instagram and Twitter from my phone because it was the first thing I'd wake up, grab my phone, tap, what's happening? And I'm just like, why? And deep down, I'm like, I know I don't need to be here. I'm not really looking for there's actually other things that I need to do. It's either a distraction or I'm looking like for a conversation or something. Like, I'm just like, okay, let's actually like get off this, because it's not that's not how I should be starting my day and stuff. And I know for me that's a sign that okay, I actually need to take a step back. But have I logged off? No. Like it hasn't. When you delete it, you can just literally like tap it and get back into it. And one thing I've realized as well, like when I took breaks before, they still email you like, oh, this is what you've missed. And I'll be thinking, excuse me.
No, them ones here, you have to slap on that preference thing. Say, look, don't send me none of them emails, fam.
I didn't ask you. My emails, you're saying, oh, hello, hi. Yeah. This is what this person has
posted. Blah, blah, is talking about this. Join the conversation.
Social media fast.
No, but you're right, though. I feel like it's definitely going to
DJ in our conversation. Hashtag.
Yeah, so that, nicely done. There we go. No, but I hear that, though. I feel like it's definitely like needed where people need to take breaks. Like me, I say this, but it's like most of the time I'm on social media. And I'm saying like, I think it's going to get to a point where I'm saying social media is really like in our lives now. Like as much as we say we take fast. And it's like saying, look, I need some space for my person. It's the same thing. You're gonna come back. Like we need it to survive now at this point. You know, like people who aren't in tune with social media. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like maybe in terms of like popular culture and stuff, like you know, sometimes like when you haven't been on the TL for a while,
right?
And you're seeing certain memes, and like, or people are like.
Well, the phone.
I'm trying to think of phrases that we use.
So okay, I've got a question. Where does I'm in a Panasonic, I'm in a pepperoni pizza? Where did these phrases come from? Who started it?
Just someone on Twitter.
You know,
is it a Twitter thing?
But the thing is, I don't think it started off with the pandemic though, because like people have been saying it for other scenarios. Because remember, Love Island, and there was one person called Arabella who came on, and because people didn't like her, they were saying everything but Arabella. People were calling her like
Ayamashe. Yeah, I remember that.
I'm done.
Like animal.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so kind of like a play on that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost like total disrespect, basically, of like, you know. Like who did it to someone else recently? I think it was Notes. They were like, "Oh yeah, that guy Change needs to stop what he's doing" or something like that. Like trying to just disrespect him. Like so
it's a change.
Yeah, they were like Change. So
that's funny.
Like, I feel like they definitely do that just to kind of like disrespect people. But like the whole, someone said this. Someone said we in a panoramic. I think it was a celebrity who said it somewhere. I can't remember who.
Probably,
but like those kind of things, I guess
that must have been the one thing to kick it off.
Yep. It always starts off on like, but I don't like aside from just missing out on like popular culture, let's be real. LinkedIn is a social media platform, for example. Like if you're looking for a job, you need social. Like, do you know how weird that is? You need social media in order to get a job. Like for most people.
Yeah, but in the same way, you need a laptop to do everything that we're doing right now. We need a laptop to record. We need a laptop to design. We need a laptop. Like,
well, that's like a necessity though, like because like the programs and stuff are on there, so we actually.
So social media has become a necessity to some extent.
Yeah, oh no, it has definitely.
We need to
definitely.
It has, but doesn't mean that it's. I don't want to sound all moral, but like, does it mean that that's right? Because.
But what's right and wrong?
Why
really,
should we
in
need
this kind of space? No one knows it.
What it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like no one knows like the parameters around social media because it literally just got made. It's not like, for example, back in the 1,000 years ago, we know when you kill someone, it brings grief and blah blah. Like social media, someone will be like, it's not hurting anybody, right? Other than your eyes that you'll be staring at a screen for 8 hours. Like other than that, it's not hurting anybody.
It's how you deal with it, fam. It's how you manage it, man.
True.
Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because ultimately, if like Mac, we did this morning, like for example, like just deleting the app or whatever, that's your way of managing it, right? So you just use it to the point, not even to the point, but you just use it at a point that is very that's sustainable for you. That doesn't impede on your health, spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the main thing. I won't I won't be of the opinion that you shouldn't use social media at all, but I think you should therefore just be wise in terms of like, if it's affecting you negatively, jump off it for a bit and actually rethink what's the best way to use this. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, like even in the previous episode, we spoke about like using our social media as a space for our platforms and stuff. Yep. So you know, some people may use their Instagram page as like, or Instagram as like an inspiration page, and where they drop all their work to share with their friends and family.
Yeah,
you get me? Like,
yeah,
is what you want to do.
Would there ever be a time where you guys would probably call it a day off of like social media and be like, okay, Instagram, Twitter, all of it, not interested?
Right now, I can't see that happening, but I wouldn't count it out.
I think when I get to the age where the thing is, I realize the more I live life, the less I use social media. So I think when I get to the point where I'm actually fully engulfed in the lifestyle that I want to actually live, I'm not gonna need social media anymore. Like if I'm actually somewhere doing like we you know how we spoke about Thanos just farming. Like if I get to that point, I'm not gonna need social media. Like I don't want to know what's going on in somewhere else. Like I don't care. Another thing is just that whole globalization thing has made people more hyper aware and a bit depressed because like I know this might sound a bit cynical, but like there was a time where you only cared about what happened in your neighborhood, and every neighborhood cared about what happened in their neighborhood, and so on and so forth. But now it's like we have to care about everything. If you don't care about something, you're gonna look like a bad person, and people care about how they look definitely. Like. You know, so suddenly now you don't repost something, then you're a bad person because you don't care about something that's happening maybe miles away from you, but you've seen it. Now you're complicit in not reacting to something, and you might not want to see it. Like it might be something that you might have personally gone through that might have given you a bit of trauma, and you're dealing with it. But because you've seen it, now suddenly you're complicit. You're just going on there and be like receiving trauma for free. Like things that might trigger you are just there. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side, it's a good thing because then you go on there, it might be something that you might need to. Like, you know the funny thing here? One of the funniest things is like, you go on social media and people out on social media telling you to get off social media. And I just find it such a funny paradox. Because it's like, they'll be like, oh yeah, people are always on social media when we're out here living our life. But you literally just tweet it out on social media for people on social media to see. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's such a weird space because it's like people giving people advice on things they don't do themselves. That's what social media is to me sometimes. And it's like we just need to be aware that it's like, an escape, you know.
Yeah, I'll say that it's more of like I see it as like a notepad or a reflection of what you want your life to be like, and like what you want. Like so, when you see when people advise people like get off social media, they're probably speaking to themselves. You know
more time.
Funny thing, because on Twitter, the little thing like inside the box is what's on your mind. I don't know if that's still there anymore. But
I think it is.
When I was using it, it was like, what's on your mind? That's what social media is that what's on your mind. That's why you have Jay-Z Twitter. That's why you have Christian Twitter. That's why you have, I don't know, you have different kinds of like spheres and stuff because people are literally speaking their mind. And if you agree with what's on someone's mind, you tag along with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why people do that. They literally write what's on their mind. They literally write, take some time off social media.
Yeah.
And they don't.
And they don't. Wouldn't it be nice though if suddenly we just all said like, you know what, let's just go outside, let's all just socialize. Like all the things we do on Twitter, we can do in real life. You know,
in the panoramic.
No. Again, like imagine like outside of that, like, because the thing is, I feel like obviously now we depend on social media much more because of what has happened, especially with this whole, you know, panoramic. We've definitely felt like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we needed it to survive. Like, let's be real, if we didn't have social media, a lot of us would have been overly, like, most of us were depressed, but a lot of people would have gone to far darker extents. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's definitely helped us in this, pandemic, kind of keep, like, entertain ourselves. Look at the amount of entertainment from No Signal to Clubhouse to, you know, so many different events that we've had based just on social media. Even till now, we're talking earlier about like the skating thing. Like, social media has been able to make that happen where people are feeling like I can actually join in and join a real life community. So it definitely has its good sides. It's just like I feel like social media is always, it's never the destination. If a lot of people feel like it's a destination, like you can't build your brand on social media and let it just live there. It has to find a way to exit that space because it's only a conversation on social media, but not like if you're selling clothes, it's a conversation you're having on social media, but people have to buy the product. That's the end goal. It's like it's always the like almost like the journey. It's never the destination when it comes to social media.
Good question. This may be a stupid question, but would you count things like iMessage and WhatsApp as social media, or WhatsApp is obviously, but then surely that means iMessage and text messages are as well?
Yeah.
Or no?
I mean, you're being social through messages, so I guess that would be like in my head. I'd be like, yeah.
So why are we not as like negative with that? Like what is? Do you know what I mean, what's made iMessage or I don't like WhatsApp because WhatsApp is just too much. But what's made things like iMessage and text messages not as negative, if you get what I mean, compared to these things like Twitter,
we have
Instagram,
more control,
etc.
Because with iMessage you have to have someone's number. With even WhatsApp you kind of have to have someone's number. With Twitter, someone could retweet something. Like, do you know how many times like people have retweeted things on my timeline? I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, and sometimes it's just like you just have no control when it comes to social media. Like even Instagram now, like they've impeded on our rights to the point where it's like ads will pop up. Like, I'll be going through stories and then someone will be singing some like off-tune song.
After every 3 stories is an ad. After every 3 stories is an ad.
At that point, it's like you are being fed things that you don't want to be fed. With iMessage, you can literally message someone and get a message back, and it's not like halfway through a text or you're saying hello and suddenly there's an ad popping up saying buy this, and then it's like, okay, continues the law. It's not going to happen like that, you know. So I feel like maybe that's why there's a difference with, you know, there's a bit of control. That's why I like sometimes it's good to have a private account.
Advertising,
definitely a tool. Yeah.
But even that, I don't know, man. I don't see Instagram like that anymore. So now, it's like I let's see Instagram as like my inspiration page, as like my showing what I'm up to in life, and then sharing my thoughts. I don't use Twitter anymore. I think just because I felt like there was too many mediums where I was doing that.
I'm missing out, bro.
I'm missing out.
You actually are. I'm not gonna lie.
On Twitter,
I'm actually missing out.
I feel like definitely. Yeah.
The thing is,
return.
What am I missing out on? Because I always see it anyway. Someone will always send it to me. That's the funny thing about it.
You know what? I feel like, you know how we spoke about Clubhouse and how, you know, people are like, oh my God, Clubhouse, bed vapes.
Yeah.
But it's similar. It's a similar thing. It's like, I think it comes down to be fair, with all of social media in general, it all comes down to who you follow, and like what you engage with, what you're using it for as well. Like, I have one friend who, on like their Instagram, it's so funny because they get their news from like the Shade Borough, and all of these sites. And it's funny because you know what's mad is like, I remember the first thought I had is like, because there'll be time they'll constantly be like sharing it, and I'm like, again. But then I saw certain things that they did share, and some bits were actually like real pieces of news that were out there that they just repurposed and put onto Instagram.
Yeah.
And there were like similar kind of pages that they would always share from. And I was like, wow, okay, so this person actually gets like a lot of their news from IG.
Yeah, I get that from IG. Yeah.
At first, I kind of like frowned on it and I was like, oh, like, what's all this? But when I actually saw certain bits that they would send through, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of like I can understand like and see it's not just like for gossip, but actually for like real things that are happening like within the country. And I was like, wow, interesting. And then thinking about I use my, like similar to you, Burns, I use my IG probably more for inspiration, like connecting with other creatives. And if I like my explore page is literally like design, men's fashion, and like typography. Like that's like the main three things I'll always see on my feed, and that's because that's what I engage with. So because of that, I know like, okay, the people I follow, the people I keep an eye on, like I just like their stuff, they inspire me, or it's cool to see what they're up to. Same with Twitter. I feel like obviously you have got your, you know, TL, you know, celebs that can do a madness, or you have weird people that sometimes you might follow because you think they're funny, but then they may share something that's a bit, you know, crazy. Like, why are you sharing, you know, porn on my TL? It's really 10 a.m. Are you not doing anything productive or useful?
It's 6 p.m. somewhere, isn't it?
This early in the morning. And so, fam, I guess so. But like, yeah, sometimes like, okay, you might just have to mute. But I know for me, I follow like certain like creatives that I admire or people in business that I admire. And it just helps me to kind of keep a track of like their journey. It's almost like an insight into how they do what they do.
Yeah.
And then other people might use it as money motivation. Other people might use it as like for literally like they just like banter, and that's what they need and stuff. So I feel like, yeah, I the only reason I say is you're missing out is because I feel like there's certain things on Twitter that you will not get on Instagram.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's bits of information or like wisdom or even like things that are happening, even if it is funny. Like there are bits on Twitter that just people can repurpose it into like a carousel, but it's not the same.
I hear
Like,
you. I hear you. I just feel like this. I don't even simplify like this, but if it's not making me grow as a person, if it ain't making me money, if it ain't adding to my day, I'm not here. The way I see it is that Instagram already. I feel like Instagram has it already. Like you said, even those repurposes a carousel, I still feel like I see what I need to see anyway. And I'm in group chats, for example, where people drop stuff anyway that are on Twitter. So it's kind of sad that I've got people that are on Twitter like sending me stuff. Not like I asked for it, but they send me funny stuff in it. It's like,
it's like you begging for it, like, please send me something.
Like, you know what is it? Is that the way I see it is that they're almost using this drug that I'm not gonna use, but I want the benefits of it as well.
What, second hand high? Nah, you're bad. You're bad for that. No, but yeah, no, you're missing out though. I feel like with Twitter, especially, there are a lot of conversations that happen. Especially going back to Mike's point about like following the right people that you get to see in real time, like, you know, and it's a completely different experience when you see it 3 months down the line. Maybe that information might have been very helpful to you 3 months before, when you would have seen it straight away, kind of thing. But again, I totally understand if someone doesn't want to be on there because there's a lot of noise naturally. Like, but there's a lot of amazing things that you get to witness. I think recently there was this
yeah, definitely.
What's her name? I can't remember. I think her name is Zola. She has a movie movie about her coming out actually.
Yes.
And like I remember like this was like OG Twitter back when it was chaotic and like all hell was running loose. People could say whatever.
It was a mad thing,
bro. Like I remember being young and being on there. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just following anybody. I don't care. But yeah, back then, like I remember like when that story came out, and I remember seeing like the remnants of it, and for it to go back, it's like 6 or 7 years later, and then it's like now becoming a movie, and it's just like one of those things where like if you were there, you were there, and to see it come, what is like, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those moments, you know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, you're not gonna be. I think it's the same thing though for any social media. It's like at the end of the day, you have to choose. Like me right now, Snapchat, I don't really understand anymore. I feel like a bit old when I'm on Snapchat.
Oh, I forgot I even use Snapchat. You know,
people our age still use Snapchat.
Bro, when I tell you, people still use Snapchat.
I use that at uni still.
Wow.
People still use Snapchat till
Yeah,
now.
Snapchat. Yeah, like at uni, I understand, but I'm just like
Now though,
now.
Now people still use Snapchat. Yeah,
but what for though? Is it not basically just Instagram stories now?
pretty much. But I feel like I don't know. Some people like the privacy of Snapchat. I
I
guess
feel like more nonsense goes on there actually.
definitely
On
a lot
Snap.
of nonsense goes
Yeah, I
on.
feel
There.
like more nonsense
Defo.
goes on. Snapchat.
I feel like it's. I guess it's like a more like closed environment.
Yeah,
Where it's like with IG, it's a lot more open. Like anybody can come across your stories. Obviously, you have close friends, but most times you'll probably post on your main.
Yeah.
So like Snapchat, I guess, gives you that idea of like, okay, these people, I am connected to them, so we can see each other's, and it's not any random person that can come through and just see my story.
yeah,
Especially if they don't know my username
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, there's the whole subscription thing, or like you're subscribed to this person's story, but I feel like it's probably a lot more personal on Snap.
yeah.
So that's probably why people use it as well.
Just find it weird. But again, like
Because even on IG stories,
Yeah.
I probably use my close friends more than the main.
Do you feel like close friends are good?
I like it.
I just posted my
Yeah.
burner,
You
so
guys,
it is what it
your
is.
thoughts?
No, I think close friends is a good feature. Yeah, it is a good feature. I just find it mad funny though. Like if you're not on someone else's close friend,
You know what I'm saying? That's the like, fam.
So-
I can't lie. Sometimes I feel so
It's
like
mad awkward.
honored when I'm in someone's close friends list because I'm just like, me, thank you, because it's like
You
I get to
decided
see
choose-
things.
You decided to choose me.
When I start seeing the green circles, I'm like, yes, I'm in. You know, because it's like, yeah,
Such a smart feature though. It's like, like I wonder in that boardroom they were like, we've
got them now.
Yeah, I know the idea was that person that got the idea was like, yeah.
this is the one. It's gonna go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
I
true.
feel like
because we eat
there's
it
a
up.
lot of unseen features that are really good on Instagram. Like, I feel like IGTV still has a long way to go. Like even
yeah.
you know, like people can do like IGTV series and stuff. Like we can do episode
I
1,
really
episode
like
2, episode
that.
3. I don't
Yeah.
think that's even been explored.
People have used
It
it,
still
but
has a
it's
long way
just
to go.
a tricky one. It's a tricky one because it's like it's film format. I feel like people are struggling to understand how to balance that with YouTube because if you're gonna post something that you can post like 10 minutes, 20 minutes on Instagram, then what's the point of YouTube?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I feel like like with Instagram right now the whole monetization thing is a tricky one. So why would you post like I feel like it's very good to lead people from Instagram to your YouTube or you know what I'm saying that kind of format. That way it's like it gives you a better like reach. But I don't know. I find it weird just watching full videos on Instagram. Like I don't want to be watching 20-minute video on Instagram.
yeah.
I'd rather
I
watch
feel
it on
like I'm more
YouTube.
used
It's
to
not
it,
what I use the platform for.
Yep, exactly that. It's for
Yeah.
pictures
Like,
mainly.
I like
so.
quick stuff. I'm not here to get a 20-minute video unless it's an IG live.
Yeah.
But even it's weird. Even watching lives back, I probably won't watch a lot of lives back.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
but if it's
no.
in real time, I'll tune in.
I've only watched like maybe 2 lives back in full. I just don't have the maybe that's how Instagram has made me, but like you know how Instagram is like it refreshes your feeds every now and again. Not every now and again, like almost do you know what I mean? I feel like it's built like the way I use the platform is I use it in that way. So now to actually change the platform in a way that I've got to now watch it in a long format is a bit of
Doesn't make sense. To
like
me.
when I go onto YouTube, I know I'm going to watch a video that's around. So if it's like a podcast, an hour and a bit, I can watch it. If it's like a little tutorial on how to design something, I'm looking for around 10 minutes max. 5 minutes will be a nice one, but 10 minutes max. Do you get me? That's why I like
That would be a
YouTube.
nice one.
No, it would be nice. I wouldn't watch 5 minutes. 5 minutes on Instagram, I don't. Unless I'm really interested in what they're going to speak about. I'm not. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's episode of Rule of Thirds. Feel free to share your thoughts with us using the hashtag Rule of Thirds Pod. And for more from us, follow us on Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod, or our personal accounts for myself, Burns JNR,
Mike at _ man like Mike.
And Jude at Kente Kwame.
Catch you guys in the next one.